Welcome, Brady. You are out of sunny Miami, Florida.
Yes.
To sunny California. You have a pretty good life, kiddo.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my mom had her dance studios in Miami many years ago. I've told you this story before.
Yeah.
And even at lunch on Saturday afternoon, when the kids would have a lunch break, they'd go out to the sand and eat their sandwiches, and the sand would like blow up and be in the sandwich. She used to tell that story all the time. But she loved Miami. And ever since she moved back to Pittsburgh and got married to my dad and had me and everything, we used to go back to Miami all the time, to the Fontainebleau.
Yeah.
You know, shopping on Lincoln Road. That's where she used to buy her recital dresses. And so Miami has a very significant role in my life. And as you know, my mom and dad and my grandparents are buried in Miami.
Yes.
And I just want to thank you publicly in front of the whole entire world for taking the time, because that's the biggest issue is the time, to go to the cemetery, to put flowers on the grave. I'm not going to get teary, but your mom or your dad have made time for that. And that is something that I deeply appreciate. I do. Because nobody else really does that. I mean, there were millions of people that didn't even fly down for the funeral, you know? So it's tough, and it's hard for me to get there. And even now with the wheelchair and the chaos of traveling, it's even tougher. So,
well, anytime.
I appreciate it. Okay.
It's fun, so.
It is? It's beautiful. Yes, tell everybody. My mom and dad have the most beautiful property in Miami. It's stunning. It is the most beautiful Catholic cemetery, yes. Our Lady of Mercy. It's out by the Dolphin Mall, and it's just a beautiful, peaceful, gorgeous place. And I will be there someday, too. So, Brady, we have lots of witnesses. You will have to go and put flowers on my grave, okay? I'm not ready to go yet. I didn't go yet, but I was close. I was close. And, dying is easy. People don't realize that. They think it's just this horrible thing. And I think God or whatever higher being that you believe in just saves you, and you're out of the loop. Okay, enough about that. Let's talk about dance. You are a dancer.
Yes.
A male dancer.
Yes.
And you've taken the heat. You've been tested. You have been pushed. You've been bullied. Ever beat up? No. Okay, good. All right. Now, you don't go to public school.
No.
And times are different now. It's 2020. The world has evolved, thank the Lord. Things are much better. But I know, teaching many male dancers throughout the years, that it was tough on them. That they really had it rough. And many times, it was their own siblings, their own sister, their own brother who were jealous of their dancing, of all the places they got to travel, things they got to do, banquets, tuxedo, all that stuff. And they were just jealous. So they teased them, and then they got all the friends to tease them. It was ugly. It was very ugly. So tell us about your life. I want to know from the beginning. How did you start to dance? Where were you living? Who did you go to? All that jazz.
Okay, so I started dance when I lived in Texas, and I went to a gymnastics place.
Yeehaw.
And from there, it was like...
Yeehaw!
From there, it was like a dance and gymnastics place, and I took like a creative movement class where you kind of just like rolled on the floor and like screamed.
Right.
And then the teacher was like, wow, you should like really start dancing. So I think is that Texas Tumblers is what it was called.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
Texas Tumblers. All right.
So from taking dance class there, I went to A&K Dance and Acro, which was strictly dance. And then from there, my teachers, Victor Smalley and Angel Armis. No. It's hard to remember, actually. I went to a competition.
Okay.
Where
in
dance,
Texas.
Yes.
Yes.
I think it was Starbound, where Dance Moms Miami came, and Victor Smalley and Angel Armis were there. And I remember seeing them like, oh my gosh, like, wow, that's so cool, like so crazy. It was so awesome to see like male teachers.
Okay, so there weren't any male teachers at your studio that you were currently dancing at. Oh, okay. I have lots of male teachers at my studio, but go ahead.
And I just like kind of looked up to them, and they inspired me like for a while until I moved to North Carolina, where I move everywhere because my dad was in the military.
Okay, that people need to know that.
Yes.
So your dad was in the what?
Army.
In the Army. Okay. So he was in the Army, and you traveled a lot. So
yes.
you were in Texas Now you're in North Carolina.
Yes.
All right, so go ahead.
And it's the like second day that we moved to this house in North Carolina. We haven't even like moved all of our stuff in. And I was dancing in the driveway. Okay. And the neighbors came out and they're like, "Oh my gosh, are you a dancer?" And my mom was like, "Yeah," or whatever. And they were like, "Oh, these two teachers from Miami are coming to a studio nearby." And I was like, whoa, like putting two and two together.
Right.
So I went to the master class.
So I have a question here though. Maybe on this, bad mom, dance mom thing. When you moved from Texas to North Carolina, did your mom and dad investigate a dance studio because they had this promising upcoming dancer? Did they look for a dance studio first before they chose a house?
No.
Did you live on base?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well.
All right.
I don't think so.
All right. So go ahead.
So I went to this dance studio, took the class, and it was like a big summer intensive. So like I took the class, and the class after that was like African dancing.
Okay.
It was really fun. But from there, Victor saw me, and he like was like, "Oh my gosh, who are you?" And I wasn't really good. I was in a baggy t-shirt, turning on flat, and I was like this, whatever. And he was like, "Well, who are you?" Blah, blah, blah. And he came up to my mom and convinced her to go
Have a drink.
The Boston convention. We haven't gotten to that part yet.
Okay, all right, I'm waiting.
To go to the Stars Boston convention.
Okay.
Like later in the year.
So take you from North Carolina and just jump on a plane and go to Boston.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
So a couple months later, we go to the Boston convention and insert the drink.
Oh, okay.
And he convinced her to drive down to Miami and just like take class or whatever. And we went there.
So you're in North Carolina. So it's not that far of a drive. I mean, it's far, but...
Like 14 hours.
From North Carolina to Miami?
Yeah.
You're already halfway there from Pittsburgh. Well, she didn't drive fast enough. All right,
Yeah.
Let's go.
So after a couple months living in North Carolina, I went to Boston. They had the drink. He convinced her to drive down. We drove down, and basically we never left. Like I remember being there for a month, and I had to go back because it was like Christmas or something. And I remember like every day crying to my mom, like, "Oh my gosh, I want to go back." And it's like Christmas Day, and I'm like, "I want to go back. I want to go back."
To Miami.
Yeah.
Now tell our viewers at home, you have a little brother and an older brother.
At the time, my little brother was like 3.
And so your mother is leaving your older brother.
Yes.
On his own.
12, 13.
12, 13-year-old kid at home with dad. Mm-hmm. And taking the little one.
No.
Oh, she left him at home too.
Yeah.
So you were pretty much an only child.
Yeah.
See, I'm an only child. It's just easier. It's just so much easier. I know. Okay, so go ahead.
So we lived in like hotels and stuff until we eventually lived with a friend, and then somehow it happened. We went away for a weekend with Victor and Angel, and we came back to their house. We slept over, and we never left. And we stayed there for 2 years at their house.
Wow. Okay.
They had an extra room. The house was huge. They all lived together. Victor's mom was there too, and the manager, and
kind of like
Angel.
A commune.
Yeah, whatever that means. I don't know, but sure.
Okay.
And we just never left until my dad finally like retired from the army.
And said, "Wait a minute."
Yeah, this is too much. And
so is he still at home with the younger brother and the older brother?
Yeah.
We can say their names.
Bodie and Bennett.
Bodie and Bennett. I love those names.
Well, now Bennett's at college, thank God.
I know, but they were at home with dad, and you're off gallivanting around the world.
Yes.
Dancing, living the dream, and they're doing the dishes. Okay.
Yeah.
So I get it. So go ahead.
So they finally moved down. We all got a house together, and I've just been
What do you mean we got a house together? Your mom and dad moved there and bought a house
together
in Miami, and they all live happily under one roof.
Together. Yes. For the first time in like 3 years.
Right. And then a year later, your brother leaves for college. So it's like now he's gone too. Thank you so very much for watching my video. Now like, comment, and subscribe.
Hello, this is Todrick Hall.
Follow at VideoCraig. Follow VideoCraig. Follow VideoCraig. Follow VideoCraig. Follow VideoCraig.
Follow VideoCraig.
Everyone go follow VideoCraig.
Follow at VideoCraig.